Well, hello. How are you today? I hope everything's going your way. Greetings and salutations. How the hell are you? And make things go your way if they ain't. So, guys, well, soon, guys, I will be leaving the Mystic Mountain. And this time, it is for good. I think I have been here for 4 years or so. I don't know. I put it this way. When I came here, his beard was flat against my face. Something I'm grateful for is this cool beard I have. Because I ain't got no hair where it should be. I contemplated shaving my head again, but I don't know. You know, a lot of people never asked me. A lot of people thought I looked intimidating most of my life. They never asked me, why do you shave your head? Why do you dress like that? Why do you have a big old beard sticking off your face like that? Because it never occurred to him something. That was the best I could look. True statement. I work with what I got. You take what you got and you make it work. Until you can get something better for doing whatever you're trying to do. But as far as looks and certain things go, I don't know the trick of turning those off. I have better things to worry about than spiritually looks maxing, right? But I digress. I will not be on Mystic Mountain very much longer. And Monday I close. We're going to close on the deal we had with this property at the bank. And then finish moving the stuff out of here or whatnot. And then who knows what. I like to think I'm going back to the desert. And I have no idea what God has in store and what God has planned. I bet it's good, though. It is a beautiful place here. It is beautiful in every way here. Even though the pollen tried to kill me this year, that's okay. It ain't the first, and it damn sure won't be the last. My time is up whenever God says it is. No reason to pout and cry. Sit tall in the saddle. Hold your head up high. Keep your eyes fixed where the trail meets the sky. And live like you ain't afraid to die. Don't forget, just enjoy your ride. Don't forget, just enjoy your ride. That's a Chris Ledoux song called The Ride, if you want to go hear the poetic cowboy sing it to you. He made a lot of good music. A lot of that old country music that sounds like rock, a little bit of metal discreetly in it. Sounds like Mega Man X music. So, my time is quickly coming to an end here on Mystic Mountain. That's okay. That is okay. I wanted to give everyone a pro tip about, what's the title of the video? Oh, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, let me tell you something. Yesterday, I try to spend a lot less time on social media. I don't know if I'm having success with that. I think when I don't get enough sleep or I'm tired, I pick up my phone mindlessly. So I'm now aware of that. So now I just have to catch it. I will tell you this. I'm looking into an e-ink smartphone. I think it's like a Hi-Break Pro. I think that's what it's called. And it looks like it has every bit of functionality of a regular phone, except it uses e-ink for one. It works slightly different, but I like what I saw. It runs all the regular apps from Google Maps to everything. And from what I saw, and one important thing, it doesn't have backlighting in it. E-ink readers use front lighting. That means the light goes away from your eyes. So it's easier to go to sleep, and I like reading ebooks, so I usually have an e-reader for that, but it'd be great if I had this device. A lot of people don't know, but companies use colors because they get us hooked onto their products through a lot of colors. A lot of that has to do with colors, and they give you ideas about them, and your mind starts chattering, and you got this whole story about what they are, what that means. You got emotions run into it. Very, very magical. Marketing is like magic for boring wizards who wear suits and ties. So anyway, I was scrolling on here and I seen some guy, and he about summed it up. His video started playing because they play automatically. I think you can shut that off, whatever. I was scrolling up past this guy and he said, "Hey, let me show you something that'll piss you off." It's like that's like the old time Flasher hanging out in the alleyway, right? And he's like, "Hey, you!" And as you walk by, he rips his jacket open and he's like shaking his thing and stuff. And he said, and I was scrolling by. The guy in the video said, "Hey, you, come here. What I'm about to show you is gonna piss you off." And I know it ain't. I said, "You better get the McFuck out of here, McChicken shit. We're not doing that." And I hit the scroll my screen. Let me tell you something. A lot of this world, something about this damn hardware we got as a brain, it gets addicted to that stuff. All right? And then it's designed to like lower us down and keep us bound to the ground instead of rising up and ascending to heaven. It's to keep us in the lower self. The world is made for the lower self. A lot of the physical world that humans built up, it's made for the lower self, the ego self. Get up to that heart. And you go in through the gate, you hit the higher heart then, and you ascend, and that goes to heaven. The heart is as a horizon. Heaven meets earth at the heart. So, big part of it is you just be aware that that stuff can affect you. Now you can take the Viking route, as I affectionately refer to it, and you can learn how to just say, you can learn how just to love it all and start transmuting it into bliss and harmony, no matter what it is. Or you can stay away from it. My philosophy is that you should go be exposed to some suffering. You should understand suffering. You should work on how not to suffer in a way that doesn't. Because think about this, everything that is lower than your whatever vibration or frequency you're on at that time that you encounter it will lower it. So what do we do here? Do we so what is some people's school of thought is to basically avoid everything. It's to basically barrier, no discomfort. Oh my God. Those are the greatest times to practice spiritually, to practice spirituality in the difficult, in the hardship, in the suffering. That is the greatest time. Suffering, and if you lead there, eventually you're going to develop OCD. You're going to develop some kind of ADHD and anxiety that's masquerading as positivity. But you're going to be worried about anything that might trigger you. Deal with your triggers, because the trigger may be out there. But we have every bit of control over what that trigger triggers. Because the mind, the story, the context that we assign to whatever it is triggering us, the mind assigns if that's positive or negative, and if we consent and go along with it, it brings it to our attention. And sometimes this process happens so fast, it's like it's on autopilot. But when we become aware, when we start waking up, when we wake up, when we become conscious, we become aware of that, and then we get a choice. And in that choice is practice found, and in that choice is not just practice found, but power is found in the choice of who can make it. Because that is where free will is, and freedom is power. In this way. Absolutely. Even when you see Jesus get on the cross, even everyone's heard the story, even whenever we see the dramatizations, it looks like Jesus is powerless and they're manhandling him and killing him. And then that's an illusion in itself that says that, well, see, they ultimately bent him to their will. He died. He didn't really have a choice. Ultimately, that is an illusion. What they did was not overpower him. What they did was not overtake him. They used coercion. Coercion is not a choice. And even then, he chooses. Choice is where the power is, because it takes free will and freedom to make that choice. So anyways, when we're conscious and we're aware and we can make the choice, we have some freedom. We have some free will. We have some liberty. And so, what that means is when everything our mind brings to us and before us, it's trying to get us to express or act or consent to something. There's your choice. There's your moment where you make a choice. Even when the emotions are unbearable, even whenever it says, act, comply, that is when your heart is in the background desperately crying out, that is not what you want to do. You could even listen to that. You make the choice. You make the choice. You make the choice. That moment that we decide to just sit and be, when we choose to do that, we've made that choice. We've made that choice. There is choice. You cannot make the choice before anything happens. That's powerless. That's powerless. It's an illusion to think because someone can bend your arm and manipulate your flesh that they have power over you. That is a fucking illusion. And people believe into an illusion. They're being deceived at that point. Because an illusion is not real. We can experience an illusion as real. We can also choose to see through it. A lot of things awake this time of the year. So I choose a little bit different path than barrier, border, isolate, protect me from another. I choose a different path. I choose to willingly surrender and thus give way to transmutation. That is what I choose to do. Let me tell you something. There ain't nothing that'll make you more joyful than standing in some sunshine. There ain't nothing that'll make you happier and more at peace than standing out in the sunlight. There is light in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome the light. But everywhere the light pierces and touches is illuminated and lit up. So when you're watching these videos, okay, I also recognize most people that probably see my video, they're not on some hardcore BDSM like spiritual journey. I get it. But I'm going to tell you something. If you see somebody say, and that's what they said in their video, come here, I'm going to show you something that's going to piss you off. Say it loud and say it proud. Shut the McFuck up, McChicken shit. No, you the fuck ain't. Hell you say, McChicken shit. The McFuck you ain't. Modern times call for modern solutions. That includes using McDonald's references. Don't eat that shit. Don't eat that shit. McDonald's. Anyway, you run out into the wilderness and catch your food bareback and barehanded on bare feet. Come on, spirit over matter. You got the spirit, you can overcome the matter. Because the physical world is designed on a set parameter of rules. It can never be as fast as you, as strong as you, or as free as you can ever be. Quote, Morpheus, unquote. Man, damn birds on my damn chair. Just doing what they want. Then took a shit on my chair. It's alright. The earth will be my chair if I want to sit. The earth will be my bed if I wish to sleep. And the earth will be my home wherever I may roam. So I wanted to give you a hint about twin flames. I wanted to share some wisdom for those who may be on the journey and starting out. Crippling emotions. Look, the suffering in anything, not just twin flames, okay? But twin flames suffer a whole lot. Because the suffering aspect is meant to break through what is not real. It is like a ram charging through an obstacle. It is like a fire that purifies and burns away the illusion. The illusion is what suffers. What's the illusion? The ego. Everything that stems from the ego, because this world stemmed from an ego, ultimately. That is why suffering is like a means to an end. To get to the liberation, the enlightenment, the freedom. It's basically to beat the shit out of you so that you realize it's not you getting the shit beat out of you. It's what's in the way. It's what's in the way, getting the shit beat out of it. Being sad about it, being upset about it, being angry about it. That there's the ego, of course. The lower self, you gotta burn it so you can ascend, because it weighs you down. It holds you down. Attachments stem from this. So you gotta detach. What does detach mean? Disconnect. To break the connection. To sever it. And then you can keep going. Then you'll be free. And you'll be joyful and blissful. Believe me, anybody can get hit in the face. Anybody can get the dog shit physically beat out of their body. Anybody can do that. But can you? Can you withstand and overcome what is inside of you that plagues you? Yeah, you can. Believe it. You know, I was just watching an article, lingo that we've learned since social media has come around. Something I've learned, something I watched. There's this woman in Sweden. Now, assisted suicide, that's not a new idea. Pretty sure in ways suicide has been assisted throughout all of human history, but I digress. Assisted suicide. You know, people used to be like, have really bad moods. They used to be really sad. And some of them had derangement and all kinds of things. But a lot of people not too long ago in the history of humanity they used to be really sad and morbidly depressed. And the Western world would lock a lot of those people in insane asylums. And now you can't really do that. Your neighbors can't get together, your family can't get together and then commit you because they don't like your mood. Or they don't like something about you personality-wise. And a lot of people had this happen to them, where society assisted them, because I feel like after looking into this assisted suicide stuff going on this planet, and understanding that people perceive the world differently, an avoidant is going to see the world different than an anxious person, for example. Very deep. And so, I'm not not ready for that one. I gotta philosophize and simplify that one a little bit more. But I digress on that. You go, you've got the people who want to die, it's because how they feel on the inside, right? And some countries say, well, it's an act of humanity. It is not an act of humanity. If they want to die, someone wants to help them, that is their choice. But because you feel grief-stricken or upset, it is important to know before you make decisions when you're emotional, so to speak. And I understand how bad having to go through it is. I don't ever want to give you the interpretation that I'm not empathetic towards you or sympathetic or caring or love you. But what I want to say is, before you make hardcore decisions like that, don't you deserve to know that it is you in a sound mind, free from emotional manipulation that you are unaware of, even when it's your own emotions manipulating you? Don't you deserve the dignity to make that decision from a non-emotional standpoint? Don't you deserve that? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. That's called human dignity. Yeah, I'm sure there's some doctors who got dollar signs in their eyes and they're like, yeah, I'll kill somebody for some money. And it's legal too when I do it. Absolutely. Mindfulness helps. In the Western world, we are conditioned to go, 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 never stop, never break, never sit down. They give you law mandated breaks at work, but this culture, you can't take a break from your mind a lot of the times when it's conditioned a certain way until you break the conditioning. You start breaking that conditioning, you're gonna realize a whole lot of things. So even though, you can take a break on lunch, can you? Can you? Western world conditions us never stop, never slow down, never look around, never stop and breathe. That is rapidly changing. Have faith. Transformation and change is coming. So people like this woman in Sweden that I'm seeing who want to be assisted suicide, I understand she lost a child. That is very difficult. That is something that I can't fathom. I understand. Grief-stricken. But what I'm saying is this: there is another alternative. And I doubt it's being encouraged in the Western world. Accept what is and surrender. Lay your ass on the ground with your legs outspread and your arms outspread, no distractions. And you accept what has happened. You watch the thoughts. You feel the feelings. Feelings are energy in motion. Whilst you cannot create or destroy emotion or energy, while you cannot create or destroy energy itself, you can change its form. It will run out eventually. And when it runs out, this is what it means. This is what it means to struggle, wrestle, and when you can't do either one no more, withstand. And then when you can't withstand anymore, accept and surrender what is. That woman wouldn't want to be killing herself if this was taught in the Western world. Unless there was a legitimate issue, hardware-wise. Everything that is not physical, like hardware, And arguably that's becoming changeable because it's energy on a level, but important here to look at it like this for this moment. Anything that is not physical, it can be changed. You can change it. Because energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed, but damn it, it can change form, and you can be the alchemist that changes its form. You can change its form. It all begins with accepting that, acknowledging that it is there, then surrendering to it. That doesn't mean become a jackass of the century or the ages. No, that would be holding on to it. That would be resisting its departure. It just means it's as simple as sitting in this chair. If you don't want to lay out and sprawl out and just surrender, it's as easy as sitting here and feeling it, processing it. Say, well, you know, I imagine people hear me say something and say, you can't understand that. The hell I can't. The hell I can't. The hell I cannot understand how something inside of you that you can't see can hurt so damn bad, and that it can blow your mind, the method and the ways that you can work with this. The hell I can't understand, because I can. And these birds want to get in the nest. There's a nest up above up there, right in there on that little ledge, the only thing on the deck of the porch roof, and there's babies in it, and they're trying to feed them, but I usually go inside, but I gave them a lot of time today every time they came to give them something to eat, I went inside so the mama could feed them. I gave them plenty of time all day long to feed their babies. I'm going to sit on the porch now. Acceptance and surrender to what is. Whatever it is in your life, accept and surrender to it. If you don't like your job, accept you don't like your job. If you want to quit your job, accept you want to quit your job. If you want to keep your job, you're gonna have a can of worms. You gotta accept how you feel overall, and then you surrender to it. It's as simple as that. This is powerful spiritual technique. Very powerful. And you should comfort people who mourn. You should comfort them. Also says that, you know, the Western world fell into this awful way of seeing something. A doctor can fix me or tell me the best thing to do next. Well, unless that doctor is telling you to meditate, basically, there's other options to ail what you suffer from. Doctors are worldly. The world all stems from the lower selves. It all stems from ego. It's a physical contraption. If you have a hardware problem, a good doctor can fix it. What's hardware? Your organs, all kinds of things. The world came up with a solution to the spiritual too. They called it psychology. It's the mind aspect, you know. But when the psychologists say openly, when psychologists are openly saying, yeah, killing yourself is the best answer, you might want a second opinion. Truth be told, you should probably take his license away. That guy wants people to kill themselves. I don't care if I don't want to. I just don't want them to suffer. Then go find a different way to help them, because that ain't helping nobody if the patient is dead. That's what I have to say about that. Is accept and surrender, man. That'll get you through 99% of the dark night of the soul. That will get you through 99% of the twin flame journey there. Just accept and surrender, and God will lead the way. The rest of the way, He'll give you the path, and He'll find some way to point it out to you. It goes a lot faster if you just accept and surrender, though. When you stop focusing on your twin, quicker they come back. Goes down to the atomic level with how particles affect other particles. Just does. The runner becomes a chaser, the chaser becomes a runner, and they vice versa swap back and forth. Real simple rule: anytime that something hurts you on the inside, anytime something's triggered, you're supposed to let that go, because ultimately that belongs to the ego. Ultimately that belongs to the ego. Well, the ego, the whole point of Dark Night of the Soul is the ego has got to go. That's to sum it up. The ego has got to go. That is what Dark Night of the Soul is. And the funny part is that God made this so that He pairs you up. All right, like you hear like these fairy tale fantasies of twin flames going, we met on a dark evening at a ball or an event or some shit like that rich people go to. And I could feel them from across the room. And they tell this fairy tale-esque romance thing. And then you come to broke bitches like me, and it's like a horror story. It's like an emotional horror story. I think that God gives this to wealthy people so they can have a good time in a fairy tale. And He looks at poor people causing trouble on earth. And He said, y'all come into the principal's office today. That's enough McChicken. That's enough Mick fucking around, you McChicken shit. You come into the principal's office right now. I'm going to discipline and fix your asses. I think that's how it actually goes down with poverty-stricken twin flame. I said poverty-stricken. I'm far from poverty, but I'm broke at this moment. Like I said at the beginning of the video, though, that'll change Monday. Just jokes, though, right? Who am I to tell you how your journey goes? I didn't make it. It's enough Mick fucking around over there, McChicken shit. Get your ass in the Mick principal's office right now, Mickey D's. Mickey D's nuts right now. Get your ass in this office. Have a seat. That is enough McFucking around for you, McChicken shit. We're here to review your performance on planet Earth today. Yep, you in several direct violations of not just your sole contract, but the Geneva Convention. And we're going to talk about that today. In fact, yeah, come in now. See this here, you never met them, but you know them because they're you and this other body. And y'all gonna hurt each other. Y'all gonna beat the brakes off of each other emotionally until y'all decide y'all ready to act right. Cause I made y'all better than this shit. There won't be no more McFucking around, will there, McChicken? Chicken shit. That's right up there with damn. Never mind the Bolocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. That's right up there with them. Rock the Casbah. That's the Clash. Rock the Casbah. It says Charlene don't like it. It says Sharif don't like it. So, Kat, you about the star of the show is about to get thrown out of the show today. You're drooling. So, part of the dark and funniest thing about Dark Night of the Soul, there as they call it, is you essentially gotta suffer until you find a way to stop suffering. The choice is yours. You decide you won't keep being bothered by other people and their stupid shit they say. Yeah, you can do that. But now you're going to be aware that it fucking sucks. You want to be affected by outside shit going on in this crazy ass mental asylum called the world? You can do that. But you're going to suffer until you realize that that ain't got shit to do with me. I can't help that there's people on this planet who are having a bad time. That doesn't mean throw compassion away. You're going to get fine-tuned. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm giving you the summary. You go experience it. You learn. You learn some other things. You get fine-tuned to be compassionate, but first you got to throw the big shit in the fire to get it burning good. Ugh. When your hairy nose hairs go in your throat when you go to do that, then you start coughing and hacking until you hack it on out. That's like the things make us suffer. They make us hack and knee-jerk and finicky and anxious till we hack them on out. When you stop being triggered by shit outside of you, because then you probably made some progress, because your mind will be transformed in this process also. And so when you stop being so damn triggered and butthurt, it's a sign that there's transformation occurring. And even how you talk, even how you express yourself would transform. All these things. So when twin flames get paired up, it's not really so they can be in some fairy tale relationship, if I can cut the horse shit into jokes until they start happening again. They are about it's about spiritual transformation. All right. When y'all get when your twin flame is found, or whatever it is, y'all gonna beat the shit out of each other emotionally. For the exact reason I just said, until you decide, I do not like suffering. If you knee jerk, if you run, if you don't accept and surrender, not to your will, not to your ego's ideas of comfort, but to whatever the hell happens to you. Because you see, the ego, a telltale sign of it is it wants to control outcomes, it wants to control things, it wants to assign meaning to things, it wants to make something out of nothing, and it wants to control it and make it its. Treat it like treat it like it's its possession. And so when you're just like, okay, I'm no longer being triggered, these are little signs here that you're on the right path, I'm no longer triggered. I'm still laughing and smiling, having a good time, and I feel great inside. And I'm more aware and more conscious. I'm not riddled with anxieties and thoughts. And I give up and surrender. Then God's probably going to reunion you with your twin, so you both can going to reconnect you together. And then when you do, you observe, am I full of resentment towards this person? Am I holding a grudge? Am I angry? Because there's things to work on, and you learn how to work on these things. It's the ones that come out of nowhere, that are really hidden, that ambush us and shock us and surprise us. Those are the ones that get our goat for the moment. You can be aware. You can meditate on what happened a little bit, analyze it and process it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't hold it up. You just let it go. I believe in trying to get some wisdom out of it. You wanna be able to get more effective at this. If you just and you get better at just letting things go and flow, and they don't disturb your internal state. And so, as you go down this journey here, those are some signs. And it's really the damnedest thing. Dark night of the soul. In twin flames is where you both hurt each other emotionally until both of you till both of your egos just die of emotional bleeding, so to speak. So you just keep going, man. Don't. There's a group in the twin flames. There's a few thinkers that think like this in it. A few of them are encouraging manipulation, and they don't think of it like they're manipulative. That's something they work on. Well, how do you know if you're manipulative? Are you, instead of focusing your efforts on your internal development and growth and healing and transformation and all of that, are you thinking, how can I get my twin to act or react a certain way? That's ego, by the way. So if you think you experienced ego death and it happened, it ended, you still got some things hiding. And they're still controlling you, because why would you want to fucking control someone? Especially doing that, that's manipulation. And the fact that you can't see that is manipulation, and you're doing it, and you're actively participating with how can I get them to do that and this and this? manipulation. It means you're supposed to realize you have a manipulative tendency. And you got to get rid of that, because spiritual transformation is about ascension. Love is a higher frequency than fear. Fear is where you get things like, I've got to manipulate something, I've got to control the outcome. And manipulation is my way of doing it, because I lack physical force to punch my problem in the face until it submits, right? That's how those things, and they own a fear-based frequency. They own a fear frequency, and ascension means your frequency rises, and you ascend as a result. Well, love is a higher frequency, and the thing is that you keep going and going and going. You notice that it's like the stuff we would think of, I'm in hell, or you're going to suffer for all of it. That's down there in a very low frequency, isn't it? You can experience it while you're alive. It's almost like both heaven and hell are in your midst, right? So you ascend on up, and you come to love. Well, love ain't got no manipulation in it, because there is no fear on the frequency of love. You transmute that fear. You do that internal work so that those things, they rise up. And when they rise up, they're purified into something good and positive. So lower frequency shit like that, in theory, cannot exist on a higher frequency. Fear can't exist on a love frequency. Transmute it and rise it up, it becomes a love frequency. It becomes on that frequency, and even further up, even better things. I know you want to give them that food. Just keep doing that. And I believe it's a good place to stop the thing, because I'd really like to be kind to this bird over there. She got something in her beak. She wants to feed them. And I don't want to delay her progress there. So guys, take what I said, meditate on it, and all the good stuff in life. I hope everything goes your way. You can make it so. Transmute it.